I, Maqsood, on behalf of NEN and Wadhwani Foundations, would like to invite you all for this webinar and introduce our speakers, Smija S. Kumar, who is the Senior Manager at NEN, Aarti Gerald, she is the Educationist and researcher, Aarti heads the Entrepreneurship Education at NEN, and Rushika Kashyap, who is also a content head at NEN. Before I hand over the floor, here are the few reminders to all the audience. You will all be on mute. You may ask questions by typing in the panel provided. And if you would like to speak to the speaker directly, please click on the raise hand button. We will provide you audio access towards the end of the session. Please ensure to share the feedback after the session along with us. Over to you, Smija.
Thank you, Maqsood. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you had a nice day. So here we are with a short webinar on how, as a facilitator, you can use a blended learning module on your courses. So hope you all had attended our previous webinar, what we had, where we were trying to share with you about what is the new approach that NEN has for this year. So I quickly like to take 2 minutes to summarize on what we discussed last time. So we had said that NEN's approach is completely going to be focused on a student-centric activity, where what we mean say that our complete focus is to empower the students with the training programs and with the skill sets so that they can become entrepreneurs at the end of the day. So all our programs are revolving around with the same objective here. And the second highlight and the second change in the approach what we are using here this year is the usage of technology in making these things happen. So at this setting that as a context here, I would like to take you through what is this MOOC all about. So I'm sure you all would have heard about MOOCs, the massive open online courses that's available online everywhere. But what is this MOOC all about? So MOOC is massive online open platform. So this is something which is very, very unique about what NEN has for you all this year. So this platform is a very interactive platform. This is completely content rich and with lots of tools and techniques available for facilitators like you to adapt things quickly onto your respective campuses. So it completely takes you through different modes of training. So it's a combination of online courses which is coming under the MOOCs. It is a combination of webinars, topic-based webinars. It could be experience sharing webinars. We also have online e-cell. All this while we've been talking about e-cell activities happening on campus, but we are taking the concept completely online so that it becomes very comfortable for the students to track their activities, show the reports, progress, and also engage more students. The scale is exactly what we are looking at here. Engage as many students as possible from each of your campuses. We also have experiential learning methods like Smarty. I'm sure all of you are aware of this competition. The challenge that we rolled out recently called the Smarty Challenge. We've been getting very, very good response from across the country about this. So, and also video-based learnings. So in addition to what we have to offer in this MOOC platform, we're expecting there will be a set of on-ground activities that will be happening parallelly based on what the learning you get from this platform. So the functionality, I'm going to take you through the functionality of this platform. So as a user, a facilitator can register on this platform and access to all the content available on the platform in different modes. And a student from each of your campus will be registering onto the same platform and taking part through these courses, which means as a facilitator you will have the the opportunity of seeing as how many students have gone through different modules, what has been the progress, which is the batch who are really kind of completed any of these modules, where you have to allocate your time on more additional training or additional hand-holding support or whatever it is. So the platform is going to give you everything at one go. So this is going to be how the platform is going to look like. At NEN, we are trying to put all efforts to kind of make this platform reach out to you at the earliest. Within the platform, what exactly is MOOC? What is the kind of content that we have to deliver for this year? What are the kind of courses we have? There are certain, there are combinations of certificate programs, some vertical specific courses, some experiential learning activities like Smarty. So what exactly are we doing for you all in this year? I'm going to take Aarti, my colleague and the director of the counter, to take you all through this content plan for the entire year and the plans forward. Thank you guys. Over to you, Aarti.
Good afternoon, everybody. And both Ruchika and myself will now take you through the proposed offerings and how you could actually implement things on ground in your campuses. And I would like Ruchika to talk about the upcoming NEN certificate courses that we'll be launching this year. And then I would be talking to you specifically around the facilitation of blended MOOCs. So Ruchika.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining today. Okay, so our offerings this year or starting in October are going to be two major offerings. And these are what we call the NEN certificate courses. Both these courses are for aspiring entrepreneurs, or what we often also have been calling monopreneurs. The first is all about starting up. This is, like a basic startup course for students who are interested in taking up entrepreneurship, but they don't know where to start. They may or may not have an idea, or they may just be keen, but they really need help. They need to know how they can get their ideas onto a platform and how to make them work. So this course will really get them started. So what will happen in this course is that just 1 minute, please. Yeah, so I'm good now. I'm going to start again, please. The major learning outcomes that we want to accomplish, which means that what should students be able to do at the end of the first course, which is all about starting up. This is, we want them to be able to create a business model, a business plan for their idea, understand what is a minimum value proposition, and adopt a lean methodology. They should also be able to identify a right funding source for their venture, deliver an effective investor's pitch when required to get funding, construct an inexpensive and optimum go-to-market plan for their business. And what we are doing right now here is not just, we don't want to just run a series of courses. We want to give skills. So at the end of this whole course, our students should have requisite skills of creativity, opportunity recognition, business modeling, planning, team building, raising money, marketing, and selling. This, the way the course is structured, this will end up being about 110 hours in duration for the student, and the number of credits will be 6. This is how the course is planned. And parallelly, we have the tech startup course. This course is very similar to the first course, which is all about starting up. The difference here is that this is aimed more towards students in tech institutes and who want to come up with tech startups. That is the major difference. But if you really look at the course, the contents of the course, there are very few differences. Most of it is similar. For example, the first major learning outcome is similar for both courses. In this course, also you obviously create a business model and a business plan. But the only difference is that you now do it for your tech idea. Then recognizing patterns and principles of innovation, using design thinking, which is very important, of course, for any tech entrepreneur now, because all product designers are now going to start with design thinking, as we all know, and building the minimum minimum viable product for prototype development. Then, of course, all the others are the same. Identifying the funding source, delivering an investor's pitch, and developing a plan to reach micro markets. This is the different one, and building IPR to create competitive advantage. This is again different, because for a tech product, we expect that they will want to go for a patent, or they will need to protect their IP, whatever new technology idea they have created. So we have an additional module for them around IPR and about how to reach micro markets. The skills also are a little different. Most of them are the same, but we have included some unique ones for tech startups. One is the different ones are designing products, design thinking, and the rest are pretty much the same. And finally, prototyping also, and reaching micro markets is also a little different for building tech startups. But mostly these two courses are similar, only difference is in the tech flavor and product and prototyping flavor, which we are bringing into building tech startups. And again, from a duration perspective, it is similar, it is 120 hours, and credits is the same credits, six credits. We'll go into the details of how we intend to roll out these courses for the institute. Please give us a moment. We have a technical glitch right now.
Yeah, we are unable to move to the next slide, but we will continue on giving you the details of these two courses, as Ruchika mentioned just now. And while she's just getting ready for that, I just want to again highlight on the difference between these two courses. Primarily, All About Starting Up focuses on arts and science management and other institutes, and building technology startups is intended for engineering students. And particularly engineering students who are already into a project and are developing their prototypes would benefit the most from this course. And Ruchika has already pointed out the additional skills sets that people will develop in this particular course. We would now like to present to you the different MOOCs, that is the various different online courses that will constitute these certificate courses. And there will be vary between 8 to 10 courses between these two certificates, and Ruchika will lead you through those now.
So let's now look at the structure of the first course. We'll also give you an idea of how we will roll this out in terms of a week plan. So how many weeks will each course take, for example? Just now Aarti was talking about how each course comprises different online courses. So what we are calling MOOCs here. So every certificate course is divided or structured into several MOOCs. And if you can see the slide, you will see a list here, for example, from idea to business plan, minimal viable product, lean method, and so on. So this is the list of MOOCs in the first course, which is all about starting up. Also notice that the second column shows the week plan. So for example, the first MOOC title is a 6-week duration. So from week 0 to week 6, and this is how we'll run this. Then second one is from week 7 to week 10. Likewise, we have defined a whole year's plan in terms of weeks, how we'll run this in the institutes. Now, because this is a large course, we have divided this into two parts. First part is first semester, second part is second semester. And note that the rollout will require participants to spend about 2.5 to 3.5 hours per week for this course, if we are doing it over 2 semesters. And this is our first option, but we also are willing to give a second option for those students who are in 3rd year or 4th year. Now this is what we are calling a fast track option. The same course, exactly the same course, but we are going to cover this in 1 semester. So which means that in 6 months we expect the participants to invest 5 to 6.5 hours a week and cover the same course but in 6 months. So obviously then we have to do it faster, and so the first MOOC title or the first MOOC idea to business plan, that we will do in 3 weeks. The second one we'll do in 2 weeks. Likewise, we'll finish the whole thing, the whole certificate course in 24 weeks. While in the first option, we would have done it in 48 weeks. Now I'm going to talk about how we'll roll out the Building Tech Startups course. Now, from a rollout perspective, the plan is the same. That we have one option to roll this out over 2 semesters, and we have another option whereby we can roll it out fast track in 1 semester. So the fast track option we are making available for students in 3rd and 4th year. Some of these students may already have a business idea, and so we obviously don't want them to spend too much time. We'd rather that they get started immediately and come up with the student venture at the end of the program itself. So that is the reason why we want to do it in a fast track mode for them. The way the program is laid out here is very similar to All About Starting Up, what I showed you just a few minutes ago. So this one is, if you see in the first one, from tech idea to business plan, week 0 to week 11, this is the first course, and this will take more time because it's a longer program, it's a longer course, because we are taking the students from thinking of the product, right from thinking of the product to ending up with business plan. So that is the reason why this is designed as a 11-week program. Now this will be available to start use from 30th of September. Likewise, we have dates for all the MOOCs. So the second one is IP for technopreneurs. Now both these are unique courses for building tech startups. So these are going to be different from All About Starting Up. And the second one is a 2-week course. And second one is a 2-week course. And then if you see the rest, other MOOC titles, minimum value product and lean method, this is 3 weeks. Then business models is again 4 weeks, and so on. Then one more difference I want to point out to you between this course and All About Starting Up is that marketing for startups here is a smaller duration, smaller course. It's only part 1, while in the All About Starting Up, it's a much longer course. The rest of it is pretty much the same. And again, fast track option is similar, only that you're completing it in 24 weeks, while this building tech startups, you're completing it 46 weeks. Anything you want to add, Aarti, to this?
I also just want to add that, the Tech Idea to Business Plan is the course which covers the prototype building, design thinking elements that we were pointing out earlier as additional skills. So the additional skills are built into the very first course, which is kind of like the foundation, and then followed by the other courses. And we will be interspersing this courses with webinars, and the registration and legal aspects will also be dealt with as a webinar towards the end. And the pitching your startup investors will culminate with select entrepreneurs being invited to present to a panel of investors. And also that throughout this these 2 courses, we expect the students to actually launch their ventures and run their ventures. So that is an integral part of both these courses. Each of these courses have clear outcomes, and we will share them with you separately in a detailed mail when we send out the promotional material of these courses, which you could actually start circulating in your campuses. I would also now like to switch over to the details of how to facilitate these courses on your campus. And Smija has set the context of the MOOC, and through the MOOC, what would you do and how will you facilitate these courses is going to be the rest of the discussion. And we will take all your questions towards the end of this presentation. Primarily, blended learning is becoming a very popular mode of learning of late. And blended learning constitutes an optimum mix of learning offline as well as online and combined with real-world experiences. The blended learning model that we are prescribing to make this courses a success is a facilitated blended learning, and that's where the role of facilitators and educators like you becomes very crucial. The online learning part is primarily self-directed for learning for students, and the experiential on-ground learning combined with the online learning is the only way to ensure we have high impact as well as outcomes in the campus. The real-world experiences combined with the online learning and experiential on-ground learning will make this entire learning experience complete. In terms of outcomes, what we mean are not the outcomes and skills that are experienced as part of the course or the skills that are gained as part of the course, but rather the outcome of actually launching a venture and managing the venture and being able to grow their venture. So that would be the focus of every single course, and the modularity of the courses will also allow that and focus on this outcome. Getting a little more deeper into what facilitated blended learning constitutes is that online learning will have various elements such as video lessons, presentations, trigger films that you can run in a classroom, video case studies which will help bringing in a live entrepreneur into a classroom via video mode, and also bring in some experts such as IP experts or social media marketing experts into the classroom, which kind of simplifies the logistics involved in it and also standardizes the learning for all people who go through these courses. And these 4 elements, such as the video lessons, online presentations, trigger films, and video case studies, would allow you to actually plug and play this in your classroom and enable the learning for the students. And you could actually intervene to support these learnings in a better manner if you are also priorly prepped with these things. The quizzes and assessments, assignments, webinars also are an integral part of online learning. The discussion groups that a learning management system allows would help students connect beyond people on your own campus. They would be able to talk with various other people, and if I mean, most of you would be familiar with online learning and what online course providers offer these days, and there's a lot of dialogue and even group work happening with people in different parts of the world. So NEN having gone global, NEN is currently present in Indonesia, Pakistan and Malaysia, and we also propose to go to 2 other geographies shortly. So the learners will be able to access each other and also get oriented to different cultures, and we look forward to that. And next would be the online e-cell that Smija was talking about. So each of these elements will render the online learning, and the concepts would be primarily dealt with through online learning. In terms of skill sets, the learning would happen through the on-ground learning, through projects, in-class exercises that are part of the video lesson modules, outbound exercises which allow people to go explore and understand things in the market, and market-facing interventions, role play, panel discussions, presentations to panels, and expert interactions such as, you know, talking to an entrepreneur, bringing an entrepreneur within the classroom, bringing an investor to a classroom. These kind of things which will add value to the learning experience would be imparted primarily through your effort. We would structure each of these things in a manner it is easy for you to roll out in a step-by-step way, and also give you clear indication of where these interventions should be brought in. And another important thing we are trying to do here is try to bring in the hands-on learning approach and pedagogy, the experiential learning pedagogy via the online platform as well. And that connects to some of the things such as Smarty Challenge that we are talking about, the e-week, Upstar, which will be an equivalent of the NEN First Dot. And combined with these interventions from NEN, your own campus companies, student ventures, and startup internships that students will take up will complete this whole picture. So facilitated blended learning involves each of these things and a combination of all of this in a proper manner. Just to add on a little more, I would like to take you through some details of a typical user journey in a MOOC. And when we say MOOC, I'm sure all of you would relate it to the open online courses, which have become the trend of today. And plenty of people are taking online courses because of the, the flexibility for people to take it at their own time. And when we adopt these MOOCs, you will be able to use it in 2 ways. One is that plug and play in your classroom, and also allow the access to the same concepts for the students again when they want to brush it up again. So this is something that we will be trying out for the first time. Till now, NEN online learning has been courses which are not highly interactive or blended. The current e-academy courses are very short and are intended for the previous type of audience which generally takes MOOCs. But going forward, in a structured, facilitated, blended environment where facilitators like you will play a huge role, this would be the first time that we are trying it out, and we are trying to emulate the best practices from all our other founding institutions and partners across the globe. This is a typical user journey for a MOOC. You might be wondering how this would happen and what you could do. So it typically starts with the registration for the certificate course, and then an orientation towards how to use this course and what the course contains, followed by the various modules. And the modules, we have typically broken it down into the online, on-ground, and real world. and these have been color coded as you see here. The dark orange boxes indicate the online modules, and the lighter orange boxes indicate the on-ground modules. So the on-ground modules are the various elements which I explained to you just now. So following every single lesson or a webinar, there will be a follow-up activity which is experiential for the students. So the practical credits, which are double the amount of your contact hours, will take care of all the on-ground and real-world experiences. Being part of the eCell is also an essential element, and therefore anybody who registers for a MOOC automatically becomes a member of the online eCell and happens to engage in the rest of the online activities for the eCells. End of the course would culminate with projects, and each of these individual MOOCs, what we are talking about is not just of a single, the entire certificate course, but for each of the single MOOCs that Ruchika had outlined earlier as our offerings. And this would reach the certification, the point of certification, subject to completion of all the modules and also the individual projects designated for each of the MOOCs. The mentoring aspect is also something very vital, and we would like you to leverage your mentoring communities as well as your mentoring capacity in your campus. And if you see, the on-campus facilitator's role is very, very key in making this course a success. Having a bunch of videos and some downloadable activities on how this can be done is definitely not going to help achieve anything. You facilitating this learning by taking the students through this experience in this prescribed manner is the only way this can happen. We will always leverage social media and other discussion forums and study groups like what I was talking about earlier. The MOOC features for all of these would be added along the way through this year, and initially we will roll out the first course in October. You would be able to use these materials in a very simple way, and I would like you to look at a sample of how this can be done. I was talking about a step-by-step way, how you can facilitate the learning. So here is a module 1 demand-driven innovation of the technology course, the tech idea to B-plan course. So this session, Introduction to Technology Ventures, typically is of 60 minutes. And the first step for this lesson is use an introduction video which runs for 5 minutes, and it actually covers the program and course lead introduction and has a quiz as an interactive video conversation. You'll be able to facilitate this quiz and also have some amount of discussion around it. The next step is the video lesson 2, which is talking about why build technology ventures, and that is for another 5 minutes. The step 3 would be what technologies are changing the world. And the step 4 is a in-class discussion using all of these 3 videos as triggers to discuss on what technologies are changing the world and why one would build technology ventures and how to go about it. You would be moderating the discussion for 35 minutes. The step 5 would be instructions for an outbound exercise. The exercise would be on, are you solving a big problem? And the duration of exercise could be vary between 2 hours, which is just that particular week, or you allow them to carry it on for another 2 or 3 weeks to continuously keep updating the template that is provided for them to fill the observations during the entire period. And the facilitator instruction notes on each of these lessons plus each of these modules for every course would be made available, and through our learning management system you will have a different view, the facilitator view, where you will be able to understand how your students are progressing, what you need to be doing, what is going to be the session plan as well as the lesson plan, and what you need to do for that particular week. So week by week view and step by step instruction on how to go about this course would be provided for you. So this is just for one particular module. Similar to this module we will be doing, and specific instructions and videos for facilitators may also be provided. And interim webinars like this would be held to ensure that there is a smooth rollout of this on your campus. So this is what we intend to do with your support, and we hope to be able to do this successfully. in October. We will also share the marketing collaterals with you, so you may start thinking about how you could offer it to your students. You could also initiate some excitement on campus about what's coming up. I would request Smija to now talk about the next steps, and before that Ruchika would also add in some thoughts of hers.
What I want to talk about just for a moment and take your time again is that we are really going to be deploying MOOCs, and MOOCs are typically known to be online courses, but the unique difference that we are bringing in is with your help, and which is that you are going to be facilitating these MOOCs in spite of these being online courses. So our approach really is facilitated blended learning and not just blended learning. So our approach is not just MOOCs, it is facilitated MOOCs. So while Aarti was showing you in the slide which had the user learning journey or the student's learning journey, please note that you will have ample opportunity to touch base with your students on the campus, during exercises, during outbound exercises, or during role plays, panel discussions. And so we will not lose any of the advantage that we have always had while facilitating these courses in the classroom. The same advantage will continue. In fact, we will have an additional advantage of having consistent content delivery through online MOOCs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchika and Aarti. So I guess the past 15-20 minutes has been really busy going through a lot of content. So you will get these slides by emails, and you can have your specific questions to the respective team members separately. But in case you want to ask some questions right now, you may please raise the flag. So I would recommend Maqsood, if you can please come online and share your instructions for accepting the questions, please. We are ready to take up the questions now.
Thank you very much, Smija. Thank you very much, Aarti and Ruchika, for that wonderful session. So we have got a few questions from the participants. So here are the few questions which I will read out so that you can answer. So the first question is, can college mentors or other faculties in an INSEL be a part of the course, and would they get a certificate for the same? So
Okay, if facilitators want to go through the program and get certified, that is definitely a possibility. That is definitely a possibility. The modality for it is something that we are still under consideration. We will let you know. But obviously, it does make a lot of sense for the facilitators to go through the content themselves prior before running the course. But if you want to officially take part in it, then you should be like, on the online portal, minus the on-ground learning, because group learning, other things that you will provide your students will not be possible. So it will be just like any other MOOC, and yes, that is possible.
okay, here is a faculty who would like to talk, Sumita Popal. So, yeah, can you please go ahead, ma'am? Hello, ma'am. You can go ahead and ask your question. Okay. The next question is, are the MOOCs self-paced? Can we align the schedule as per convenience of students, considering university exam schedules?
The MOOCs are available from a certain period onwards, and if you would like to actually schedule your classes according to your schedule, it's perfectly fine. The week-wise plan is provided, and the lessons and activities that need to be completed have been provided. So if you choose to actually modify some week lessons or anything, it is possible, but then it has to be updated in your MOOC, where we will be tracking the progression of this course in every college. And it has to be completed at the end of the year. So the little bit of adjustments in schedule, you should be able to do.
Okay. Professor Atul would like to talk to you, Aarti. Can you please answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Hello, Atul. Hello. You can go ahead, sir.
Maybe you could just post your question in the chat.
Okay, our next question is are there any faculty development courses coming up from NEN?
We'll be having facilitator courses and mentor development courses that are available for faculty for this year. The mentor development courses will be about how to mentor idea stage entrepreneurs, and the facilitator programs will be about how to facilitate advanced programs on campus, and also an orientation to why teach entrepreneurship. These are the things that are available for facilitators this year. All of these courses are going to be online.
Okay, our next question is maybe how do you evaluate our progress?
The evaluation will be part of the learning management system, and it will be also visible for the faculty to understand how their students are progressing. The details of these things will be made available to you when we roll out the courses, and we will let you know in advance so you get oriented to it prior to rolling it out.
Okay, Dr. Latika would like to talk. Hello, ma'am. Can you go ahead with your question? Hello.
So I think all of you have to just post your questions on this, type your questions, because there is some technical glitch. We are not able to hear you talk.
Okay, our next question is what will be the time schedule which will not affected the MBA program?
I think that's a very specific question and requires a little more thought into it. If it is going to be an MBA program, obviously this has to be offered in the fast track option of 6 months, which will help you cover the courses, depending upon which semester you are going to offer this for. If you are going to offer it for final year students, it might be beneficial to offer it within the fast track option. And if you are going to offer it in the first year itself, then you can run it through the entire year.
Okay, the next question is, can you give some examples of outbound exercise for tech startup certificate program?
The outbound exercises, almost all the exercises in the tech idea course are outbound, beginning with idea validation exercise, the MVP exercise on the lean methodology, building and profiling a product, and so on and so forth. If the business model canvas requires interaction with own potential customers and the rest of the market. So almost all exercises are outbound. I would say almost 75% of the exercises in the course is outbound, and overall the course itself is 50% made only out of exercises. There is very little theory that we are dealing with here. It's all by learning by doing.
Okay, there is next question. Do you expect a minimum number of students for a course to register?
None as of now. It is subject to your campus and whoever you want to admit into the course.
Okay, there is a next question. How is this going to help UG students? Is everything so new for them?
I'm not aware of what you are already doing on campus, but if somebody very new to entrepreneurship itself, yes, it will be completely new. If somebody has some basic knowledge of entrepreneurship, then it will help them get deeper into the subject. And I don't know what context you are asking this, but primarily you should actually deal with the requirements of all those people who either are just beginning to think about entrepreneurship or somebody who is already having a clear idea. Either way, this will help them go to it and progress in a gradual manner. If you take the 1-year plan.
Okay, we have a next question. can we conduct 6 hours a day, 6 hours of learning only with activities?
The way it is structured is that you conducted 3 hours of activity for the 1-year plan, where 1 hour would be in the class and 2 hours would be outside the classroom. And if you did this in the fast track, you would do 3 hours in the classroom, or rather 2 hours in the classroom and 4 hours outside. So yeah, it is possible to conduct as activities as 6 hours in.
Okay, our next question is, when are you going to provide material to facilitator?
The facilitator material will be provided alongside of the course material. When the course is made available, the facilitator material will also be available.
Okay, in market, a lot of courses are available in the same thing. So how are the courses in more strengthened than other courses?
Because our pedagogy is learning metering and minimal theory. That is the difference. And here, the difference is also that you will be facilitating the learning. They are not going to, students are not just going to enroll on an online course and do some passive learning. It will be learning combined with online and technology enabled learning that you will be making happen in classrooms.
Okay, our next question is, how assignments done on ground are going to be?
The assignments done on ground need to be reported in a certain format and template. Depending upon the responses provided in the template, it will be assessed, and that would be taken care of by the learning management system partially and partially by you, because you will know what is happening, how the students are presenting in the classroom, and you will have to assign some credits on your end as well.
Okay, the next question is, why only tech ideas? With Management Institute, where students have mostly non-tech ideas, given their background and qualification.
We specifically said the All About Starting Up course is for Management Institute, and the Tech Startup course is for Engineering Institute. I think there is no leaving out anybody there.
Okay, so there is one next question. Please tell us some activities to attract students in NEN at the initial stage. For example, first year BBA or BBA students.
I think you will have to first run a student orientation for this. If you write to Nija and team, they will help you with this. And post that, you can roll out the certificate course. The initial student orientation will be able to help you inspire people, and also run the how to start an e-cell on campus, and run 1 or 2 e-cell activities, and you will be ready for this.
In fact, just to add on to it, last week we have rolled out the first orientation program for students, which the facilitators are expected to be taking module by module, and the first lesson would have reached out to all of you. I think this will be a great start for you to initiate activities at your campus. In case you have not received that mail from my team, please do email back to us and we can share the content.
Okay, thank you very much for Smija, Rishika and all the attendees for being a part of this webinar. We are glad that the questions kept coming in, but due to lack of time, we are unable to answer them all. Please do send in your feedbacks along with the list of participants who have attended the webinar along with you, so that we can send out the next set of mailers along with the next modules of the webinar. So thank you very much.